Hello, and welcome to day 9 of our 10-day trauma informed yoga series. It's our second last day. Today is all about mending the relationship with ourselves and with yoga. So grab your mat, get into something comfortable, and we'll get started. I invite you to start today's practice in a comfortable seating form, whatever that looks like to you. I will grab the block to sit on because that feels best for my hips. We'll do a few different movements with the upper body in sitting forms to start today before we move through a couple different forms and variations. So you can take a second to center into the present moment, perhaps gazing at a spot in front of you or closing your eyes, whatever feels best. Pausing and taking a moment to focus on anything that feels good for you, whether or not that's focusing on your breathing, focusing on how your body feels, perhaps saying a little affirmation or sentence to yourself, anything that feels good for you today. I invite you to start your practice with that. Today's practice is all about mending. I invite you to ask yourself, is there anything in your life or inside of yourself that you feel up to mending? You feel it needs to be mended and you want to start doing that. And perhaps an affirmation you can say to yourself today is, I am lovable even when I'm mending myself. Or I am lovable even when I feel broken. Or mending myself is a part of the healing journey. Anything that sits well with you today, I invite you to bring that into your practice. And if your eyes are closed, I invite you to open them now. We'll move through a few movements in sitting, starting with the neck. So feel free to join in for any part that feels good for you. I invite you to bring your right ear to your right shoulder, getting a gentle stretch through the left side of the neck. As you exhale, bring the head back up to center and bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Maybe noticing sensations on the right side of the neck. You exhale, coming back to center, and you can repeat a few times in your own time, at your own pace, going from side to side with the neck. If it feels good, you may add some half circles here, bringing the chin to the chest as you go over from one side to the other. A few more times side to side, always knowing that you can stop at any point. And if you would like, you can add some arm movements into this. So as you bring your head over to the left side, you can bring that left arm down and bring the right arm up if that feels good. You can go right arm down as you bring the right ear to the right shoulder and bring the left arm up. Moving side to side a few times at your own pace. And when you feel like you've had enough arm movements and enough neck movements, I invite you to join me back at center. We'll do a few shoulder movements here. So placing the hands on the knees. I invite you to bring the shoulders up towards your ears, give them a little squeeze, and then roll them down your back. As you inhale, once again, bring the shoulders up, give them a little squeeze. As you exhale, roll them down your back. Repeating a few more if you would like at your own pace. One more. Coming back to that neutral sitting form that you started with whenever you're ready. And I'll be moving into bound angle here. So placing both my feet together, the knees going out. You can do this on a block or flat on the ground if you'd like, whatever feels best for you. And if it feels good, I invite you to bring your chest forward so you're getting a little bit of a bend through the back here, perhaps noticing sensations throughout the hips and the inner legs as you do this. You can go down as low as feels comfortable for you. You may decide to add a couple movements in here, maybe going from side to side with the body, finding some different sensations throughout the hips and the back as you do this. If you'd prefer to stay still, feel free to do that. I'll be spending 2 more breaths here. And I invite you to come up when you're ready and meet me on your hands and knees. We'll move through a few cat-cows before coming into some standing forms. As always, you can place a pillow or blankets underneath the knees and the wrists if that feels best for you. Following along with my breath if you would like as you inhale, lowering the stomach to the floor, chin goes up, tailbone goes up. Exhale, rounding through the spine, chin goes to chest, tailbone goes under. Inhale, stomach goes to the floor, chin goes up, tailbone goes up. Exhale, rounding through the spine, chin goes to chest, tailbone goes under. Moving through a few more at your own pace and your own time. If there's other movements that come to mind in this form that feel good for you, add them in. Yoga is all about finding comfort, balance, mending. You get to choose what works best for you. And we'll be making our way up to standing. I'll go through a downward dog, but if you would prefer to join us at the top of your mat, you can do that. If you're joining in downward dog, fingers are going to go nice and wide. You're going to push down through your palms. You're going to go up onto your toes. And then as you push down through your hands and your toes, you're going to lift that tailbone up in the air. Hips go back. Knees as straight or as bent as feels comfortable. You can walk, step, jump, crawl, whatever you'd like to make it through to the top of your mat in mountain form. Pushing down through those feet. I'll be moving to goddess form. So if you're joining me, turn so you're facing the length of your mat. You're going to go into a wide-legged form here. The toes are going to face at 45-degree angles out to the edges of your mat. And then from here, if you would like, you can go into a squat as deep as feels comfortable. You can go to here, you can go to here, you can go to here, whatever feels good. Arms can stay down on the legs. Arms can go up in cactus arms. We'll do 3 breaths here. Perhaps noticing some sensations through the leg. You can come out earlier if you would like. One more inhale. On your exhale, I invite you to straighten your legs. If your arms are up, you can bring them down. From here, I will be flowing down and then going into pigeon form. So if you would like to join me in a flow, come once again to the top of your mat. If not, you can join us in pigeon. If you are joining me in a flow from the top of your mat, I invite you to slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll your body down. Hands going towards the ground as far as feels comfortable, knees as bent or as straight as you would like. As you inhale, perhaps place the hands on the shins and gaze forward. Exhale, place the hands down. Bring the legs out behind you in a plank or with your knees down. And then from here, you can lower slowly to the ground gently. And we'll move into pigeon from here. So I invite you to go back into tabletop. And then you can bring your left knee, place it behind your left hand. And that left foot is going to go behind the right hand. Back leg stays straight behind you. Now you can stay up like this on your hands. You can go down on your forearms. You can grab a pillow and rest on a pillow. If you have a block or a book handy, you could place it underneath that back sit bone if that feels best for you. So many different variations to choose from. And we'll spend quite a few breaths in pigeon on both sides. So always know that if it does not feel fulfilling for you, it's not mending anything in your life, it just doesn't feel good, you can come out whenever you would like. It may be really hard to know if there is anything to mend within yourself. It can be hard to start a process of change or of doing something different. So if you do decide to do that, excellent. And if you decide it's not the time for you right now, that is 100% okay. There's nothing wrong with waiting, choosing a different time to mend something. I'll spend 3 more breaths here if you're still with me. One more inhale. On the exhale, if you're down on your forearms, I invite you to come back up onto your hands. If you're on your hands, you can move there. Then you're going to take that left leg and bring it back and switch sides. So the right foot is going to go behind the left hand, and that right knee is going to go behind the right hand. And once again, you can do any of the variations on this side. It might feel different from one side than the other. So if you want a different variation, feel free to do that. Maybe remembering the affirmations from the start of the practice and adding them back in now. I am lovable even when I'm mending myself. There was something else that you chose. You can say that to yourself if it resonates. I'll be spending 3 more breaths here if you're still with me. One more inhale. On the exhale, if you are on your forearms, I invite you to come onto your hands. You can meet me on your back for our final resting forms. If there's any movements that are calling to you right now, feel free to do them before I do a few bridges if you're joining me. We're doing 2 bridges today, so you can place your palms down, bend the knees, and place the feet on the mat. You're doing the bridge with me, gently pushing down through the feet, maybe pushing down through the hands and lifting that tailbone up. Holding for as long as feels comfortable. I'll be doing 1 more breath here. On the exhale, lowering gently 1 vertebrae at a time. Repeating 1 more time, pushing down through the feet, lifting the tailbone up. Once again, holding for 1 breath. On the exhale, slowly lowering 1 vertebrae at a time. One more movement before ending today, bringing both knees to chest, giving myself a bit of a hug. If you want to join in and give yourself a bit of a hug, grab those lower legs, bring the knees in as much as feels comfortable. Maybe cross the feet and rock gently. Sink further into this. Letting go whenever you are ready, going into your final resting form of today, whatever that looks like. I like to think that every time I practice yoga, I am mending something within myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm mending my relationship with courage when I try something different, or my relationship with rest when I decide to rest instead of doing everything in the class. Mending my relationship with perfectionism when I feel like I don't look the best in whatever form I'm doing. That's just my experience. Might not resonate with you. Thank you so much for joining me on day 9 of this 10-day trauma-informed yoga series. We have 1 more day left. Can't believe it. I look forward to practicing with you tomorrow on day 10.